What up, people? It's your boy Master Chudy out here with another video. So, I really want to appreciate y'all for checking out my Batman Hush video. Trying to get these videos out, trying to do more, and I hope to have more comic reviews up when I can. But once again, if you're interested in that, my video will be linked at the end of below if you want to get more on Batman Hush. But we're going to talk about Marvel, the MCU in particular. So yesterday, big at San Diego Comic-Con, we got the MCU's Phase 4s out. You know, everything's been done well and good and dandy. They got their films out, as we can see. I'm going to break them down one by one and get my thoughts on them. Basically. But to give a quick overview of what I think, I personally think that this lineup, there's some good gems in there, here and there, and then there's some that, I don't think it right now. Everything looks like it's lacking direction at the point. I think everything is lacking. I think it's serious. There's serious lack of direction, and we'll see where it goes from here. But allow me to just break down each of these films bit by bit and what I think about their future. So we got Black Widow, which is coming out next year in May. Seems to be the only, well, not the only, sorry. So that'll be the first film of 2020. Right now, I think that it's, pretty good. It's going to be set in between Infinity War and Civil War. So one would think that, maybe this movie should have come out, even before Civil War, actually. Maybe before Winter Soldier, I think would have been a very good time to release it after the Avengers, but I can't say better late than never because nobody really asked for a Black Widow film, but it's coming. Scarlett Johansson's going to be in it. They're going to have Taskmaster, and they're going to have the other Black Widow, which in the Avengers Assemble animated series, she's known as Crimson Widow, which I forever thought was her actual comic name, but that's neither here nor there. I think this, regardless of whether that, I think this is going to be pretty much a very, it's going to be a very underrated film. I think it's got potential to be very good. Still got one of the OGs of the, Avengers in there. And I think for those who were disappointed to see Black Widow get killed off in Endgame, this would be a good chance to really, see her in action, actually. Got to see her face there. Hopefully there'll be a lot of fights. I really do hope that Black Widow will incorporate maybe a little bit of Winter Soldier aspects with a little bit of Mission Impossible in it, maybe with a little bit of, Salt, maybe a little bit of Wanted, all of the usual gunslinging, spy, smashing type of films here and there. So I think that has good potential. I think this will be very good. Then we move into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This one is going to be on Disney Plus. It's going to be a TV series, of course. You're going to have Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know what you could do with them, per se. You're going to have Zemo in it. Zemo from the Civil War, who I thought was, pretty good villain. I wish that he donned his iconic suit. But then again, having a Zemo without a Captain America kind of feels eh. And for the life of me, perhaps during the snap, he was snapped out and then he got back. And then, of course, no prison could hold him. So he probably escaped if he got snapped. Or if his handlers got snapped, he must have escaped in the chaos. So that's how I feel, that he's probably out and about. But then again, it doesn't seem like domination is his motivation. Maybe it will, like world domination and everything like that. They clearly deviated from what he was in the comics to what he was in Civil War. So, pretty much, I don't know what to say about that. We see that Falcon is not bearing the name of Captain America. He's the Falcon still and Winter Soldier. So, it leads me to believe that Falcon will not be Captain America in this film. This series. And maybe they keep the shield as memento. And I feel like if they focus more on Falcon being Falcon and that I'm not really Captain America, I am the Falcon, then you have things, you can go some places. Plus, you also have Zemo in there. Maybe you have a resurgent AIM. I don't know. Maybe Hydra is getting reformed. Not sure. But apparently, because of Age of the Shield, I don't know how that's going to work. because most of these street level spy type of things that you could do on a TV level has already pretty much been taken care of thanks to Agents of Shield, which is ending this year or next, I think. So this is a maybe. This is definitely depends on what can happen, you know. So you have a prequel movie and you have a TV show. I believe that this is where the Phase 4 really kicks off, where you have the Eternals. Now, I admit I don't know much about the Eternals. Many professionals who are into the lore, who know better than me, say that, the Eternals are not really showcased a lot. And one mentioned that, Thanos is dead. Both versions of him in that particular timeline, he's dead. And to fish out Thanos in another timeline seems to be, it would be dumb. Death is supposedly involved with the Eternals, and a death without Thanos, makes no sense as well. I don't know where they want to go with this movie. They want to introduce the Celestials, but I think that the time to do that was probably a few years ago when they were really building onto it, and it doesn't help that Spider-Man: Far From Home kind of put the kibosh on different multiverse theories in that movie because of Mysterio. So we should have seen that coming. So I don't know. Depends how they market it, and it seems to be in flux. So I'm not sure what to say about that. Then we got Shang-Chi. Now I felt Shang-Chi was an odd choice because he's a very much a niche character in the Marvel universe. And lo and behold, what got me angry about this was like we see that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. You have included the Mandarin in this. For starters, the Mandarin without Iron Man is almost crazy. Like many people, or a good number of people, let me not say many, a good number of people were angry at Iron Man 3 for kind of doing an okey doke with the Mandarin. And I remember as a kid, when Iron Man 3 was coming out and we were hearing about the Mandarin, I was like, oh my gosh, the Mandarin's going to come. They were kind of building up on it on Iron Man 1 with that organization. And we were hoping to see like the whole 10 rings type of thing. And we got okey doked, and Iron Man 3 still did its billion, but I really don't have that too much of a fond memory of Iron Man 3. I've kind of gotten over it, but I could never forgive them for that. So I thought that the Mandarin was kind of done, and I thought that where there were rumors where Downey Jr. was kind of speculating that he would be down for an Iron Man 4. I was like, if he is down, I'd like to see the Mandarin. But of course, Endgame happened, and we got what we got. Now, Shang Chi and the Mandarin. This time you're making the Mandarin Asian. No problem at all. That's good because he should be cast as an Asian man because he is an Asian man and therefore and all that fact. But the fact that it's in a Shang-Chi movie and not an Iron Man movie is terrible. And they hardly interact in the comics. There's no medium. Comics, TV show, animation. The Mandarin has never met Shang-Chi. They're not related in any way. Shang-Chi is like a street fighter, more or less. Or he's kind of his own guy, maybe a detective thing, and this is what he's doing. And many people didn't like Iron Fist. So what makes you think what makes one think how they can really do Shang-Chi justice? I don't know. But this is the one that really angered me because the Mandarin is in it with no Iron Man, and many people have been waiting for that. So we get into spring 2021. We got another Disney Plus series, WandaVision. Pretty much, Wanda and Vision, are together. I'm thinking that people have said this is set in a future dystopia, kinda ish thing. I don't know what to make of this because the Vision that people were accustomed to in the MCU that was coming around, he's dead. So unless they want to make a blank where they're going to make that Vision almost synonymous with a Vision that was like maybe in the comics back then, or a Vision that was like the one in the animated series of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that could be difficult to really show in terms of the character growth there. We also got Monica Rambeau who's going to be there, and I think they've done Monica Rambeau dirty because right now she is past her prime. Like she was a child, and what is it? Captain Marvel. I want to say maybe she was 8 or 10 or so. Flash forward maybe 22 years, say, 23 years. She'd be in her mid 30s, assuming she didn't get snapped 5 years later into 2023. We have that, we have that basically she aged another 5 years, so she's close to 40. And from what we see, she has no powers. She has no. She did well. First of all, we don't know how. We don't know if she interacted with Carol in almost the 20 years that she's been gone. Whether or not during that 5 year gap again that she talked with Carol at all. We don't know if she ever got powers. It'd kind of be dumb to give her powers off screen. Kind of, defeats the purpose of that. And what can I say? They've literally destroyed Monica Rambeau, and maybe they can do her justice. Maybe she joins Shield, but I don't think you're going to get a properly introduced Spectrum in the MCU. There's going to be some problems, and especially in a WandaVision show, that makes no sense because it's going to be focused on Scarlet Witch and Vision. But neither here nor there. On to the next one, where I think this one has great potential: Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So we see that this is the second Doctor Strange film. A good gap, 5 year gap from the first one. That's good planning. We see that, Nightmare's supposed to be in it. We don't know about Baron Mordo. I would hope that this has great potential to introduce Mephisto into it. I think that he should be the new big bad of the MCU in these coming phases. I think that it's his time. I think that it works. We see that apparently Scarlet Witch is going to be in this one too, so who knows what they're going to do with that. Should be interesting, intriguing, and whatnot. And I think that, as I stated, there are talks about Captain Marvel should be the face of the MCU now, Spider-Man, but I really think it should be Doctor Strange. Because so many, especially because he proved his worth in the whole Infinity Saga, he should definitely be the face of the MCU. Neither here nor there. Now, Loki, from what I hear and from what I've read, this is supposed to take place after that whole debacle where he escaped with the Tesseract. So, who knows what could happen there? There's a possibility it could be very good or not very good, but it's one I would keep an eye out for, And then we got the What If, which is also on Disney Plus. Loki's on Disney Plus, so this is on Disney Plus as well. I'm guessing they're going to try, maybe a what if story, like maybe, what if Peter Parker was the Punisher, or what if Spider-Man was part of the Fantastic Four, or what if maybe they do like a Marvel Zombies type of thing? Who knows? Depends on the story they want to do. So that'll come out on Disney Plus. So we'll see. Another one that'll be on Disney Plus, the last one will be Hawkeye, where we got Jeremy Renner, and they want to introduce Kate Bishop. Now, I doubt this does anything. And it would seem that the way that this Hawkeye is written is just like how the titles for Kate Bishop are written in the comics. I don't know where to go with that. I don't have real high hopes for it because of how Kate Bishop has been received in the comics lore. She doesn't move the needle. Widely unpopular, and she's always getting canceled. What can you do? Now we get into Thor 4, which is Love and Thunder, and this is looking like a throwback 80s type of title card. I get it. Now, a couple things that I would really want. Obviously, Jane Foster's Thor is going to be in there. Jane Foster's Thor obviously has not come back since they removed her powers because she wasn't selling comics. People didn't really like her character. And she was just there because, and once again, she's not Thor. I'm of the opinion that you need some human characters to just remain human and not gain powers for the sake of gaining powers, because I think that it kind of cheapens what regular people can do. Same thing. Amadeus Cho was a genius. I never wanted him to be the Hulk because it didn't make sense in the comics. He was always his own dude. He could handle himself. He had the intelligence. You could make a great character out of that. Same thing with, you could argue maybe Gwen, but I think it worked well as an L Stories thing as opposed to a now mainstream thing with Spider Gwen. But it's caught on a bit. But that's just me. And then you have Jane Foster's Thor. Like so far, the best version of Jane Foster, I think, is when she's been her own scientist. Or in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, she's been a paramedic, where she's out there on the field helping people, saving people. I think that's what really works. But what I would like for it to get to is that they really bring in the Enchantress. I've been waiting for the Enchantress in a Thor movie for so long. Ever since I saw her in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I feel we can do so much with the Enchantress. But then again, it's likely you won't see her there, and then you might see her in Loki, which I would say makes more sense because Asgard might still be around in this time period as opposed to this time period. But then again, Enchantress doesn't really work unless Thor is there, unless you're going to have Thor here. But it looks like this is going to be a Loki centric focused show with little Thor. So I would hope that Enchantress makes an appearance here. And I'd hope that Thor gets some due justice because since the third movie, Thor has been batting a sub 5, sub 250. Let me just say that. Because, he had that really great run in Infinity War, and then it kind of lambasted down because of Endgame. So, and then we have to be announced. We have Blade. Now, I've been a Blade fan. Love Wesley, love Blade. So it's good to see a black hero get his props. But I am cautious about this. One, because this will be PG-13, no doubt. And people are saying, well, PG-13 worked for Venom. It can work for Blade. No, 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 no. I'll tell you why it can't work for Blade. Venom, at the end of the day, Venom is still a symbiote being. And yes, he would benefit from R rating. And yes, I did enjoy Venom quite grandly. But with Blade, you need to see this man slice and dice vampires. There's none of this ambiguity of like him killing like he needs to kill. He is a brutal, dark character, and it's not like he has Spider-Man to like balance him out to make him light, which is why you could say it was a PG-13. Now Blade needs to be rated R. He has to be rated R, especially if this is a chance to really bring back the fear of vampires back into the mix and everything like that. Not to mention Mahershala Ali, great dude, great actor. I think is not the right choice because Blade is a martial artist. Wesley could fight, and I don't believe in Mahershala Ali is in his 40s. He's never had the experience of doing stunts. He's never, at least to my knowledge, he's never had the experience of doing stunts. It's going to require something. It's going to require a stunt double. So it might take out a few of the fight scenes that the enjoyment of the fight scenes that we enjoyed throughout the Blade trilogy. Even despite the fact that Trinity wasn't that good, the fight scenes were still pretty good. And then last but not least, we have Fantastic Four confirmed. So they announced Blade, confirmed Fantastic Four, and I'm excited for this. I hope that they've learned from the Final Four, or the F4, the last one that came out, Michael B. Jordan. Keep all the family the same race. That's all I gotta say. Um, I would say don't bring in Doctor Doom yet. Maybe bring in like Annihilus, Mole Man, Puppet Master, one of those villains that the Fantastic Four starts out with. I think let Doom build up, and maybe that's a character you use as like an overall bad within the MCU universe. So I've given my thoughts on it, and my final verdict is that the direction of Phase 4 is very much in flux. I think that you might want to. It looks like everything. Their hope is to pass it through Doctor Strange, because this seems to be like a standalone. This seems like a standalone. This is a prequel. I don't know what the goal is for this. This is probably a standalone. None of them connect, and if they do connect, it's going to be weird. That's all I got to say. So And because of this lack of direction, I think you're going to see some slight repercussions. Maybe less money, fatigue, definitely, if there's no overarching arc connecting them like the first three phases did very masterfully. But that's neither here nor there. I can only hope that it's good, that it's done well, and that we'll see what happens. But anyway, once again, I think this is the future for Phase 4 is directionless, and that's going to be a problem. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications to make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews and videos and other commentary for you, the people. And so I want to discuss good comics and stuff on, that deals with nerd stuff, movies, and all that stuff. Get your views on them. Tell me in the comments below if I might be, have gotten some things wrong or anything like that. Always looking for a chance to, educate myself and whatnot. And appreciate you for watching, and peace out. Hope to have more videos up when I can. Bye.